Hi everyone, I'm Yvon Bog, CEO and founder of hegen. I'm also a certified lactation counselor. Today, I'm very excited to bring you a journey onto breastfeeding. So why breastfeed, you may ask? Breast milk is one of the best gifts endowed on a mommy to give to her baby. So for the baby, other than the nutrients and the immunity that can be built up to fight against viruses and bacteria, it is so easy to digest for the child, and it builds cognitive development, motor skills, and sharper vision. For the mom, like when we are giving birth, there is this hormone called oxytocin that is released. Oxytocin is also released during breastfeeding. So when it releases, it helps your uterus to actually contract and bring it back to shape like how you were prenatal. So that's number one for mommy. But at the same time, the same oxytocin allows the muscles around your milk glands to contract as well, helping the milk glands to push out the milk towards your milk ducts and contracts and out through your nipple. And this whole thing is called the leg down reflex. Well, there's so much good things, so much benefits for you and your baby. So are you ready for the breastfeeding journey? Allow me to take you back in time. This picture is taken in 2008 when I had Lucas, my third child. I had over 1,500 bottles of 180 ml to 240 ml of express stored milk stored across different freezers in my house, my in-laws, my parents, any relatives that are willing to lend me some space. You may be wondering, why do you need so much milk? Being a working mom and my schedule required me to be flying and traveling most of the time, breast milk was the comfort, was the reassurance that I stay connected with my children, with my baby. And that's why I pursued, no matter how challenging it could be, it was my best form of connection with my baby. Well, Lucas was very special. When he was born, he was premature. And so compared to his older siblings, he is much smaller in size. Well, and when he was born, he was unable to latch on directly on me. Hence, we had to try tubing. We had to try cup feeding and even syringe feeding. However, he just couldn't take the milk in, and the milk was flowing out from the side of his mouth. So what we did was the doctor recommended using a bottle to introduce the milk deeper down and help him to digest the milk better. Well, being successful with my breastfeeding journey for the first 2 rounds, I was so determined when I had Lucas to continue latching him as long as I could before I first introduced a bottle. But with the recommendation from a doctor that the baby's health and safety comes first, that I gave in and we introduced the bottle. Good news was Lucas grew to a safe, healthy weight, but the regret and the sad part that came out of it was he was the only one out of my 4 children that did not latch directly on me. He had this thing called nipple confusion because bottle was his form of receiving milk, and he wasn't familiar with latching. This is something that a mom, I think this mom guilt is something that I really don't want any other mothers to go through. Hence, I designed and created the hegen ecosystem that prevents nipple confusion, and we are here to complement and support a breastfeeding mom's journey. So introducing a bottle shouldn't be replacing the mother, but complementing her breastfeeding journey. Now, let me tell you more about breastfeeding. Well, from Lucas' experience, I also learned that firstly, don't be too hard on yourself. You are a mom and you are always enough. You know what you're doing is the best for your child at that moment. And I did it, right? And I also learned that exclusive breastfeeding is being able to feed your child breast milk exclusively, whether it's through a bottle or is a direct latch on. So just do whatever you can. So the recommendation for breastfeeding is at least for 6 months and beyond, and up to 2 years, or if you can go further, go on. So just be kind to yourself and do what is the best for you and your child. Now, the breastfeeding journey is beginning. Before you become a mom for the first time, trust me, there will be a lot of questions going through your mind, and you will have a lot of doubts like, am I enough? Do I have enough milk? Would I have milk to even feed my baby? So mommy, Mother Nature endows every mommy with some form of milk to be able to feed your young. This is just Mother Nature of procreation, right? So believe in yourself. You have milk. Now the next step, once you set your mindset that, okay, be calm, believe in yourself, know that when the milk comes, you're prepared, you're ready to step into motherhood. So now that the baby arrives, what do? Whether natural or C-section delivery, remember the first thing to do is always a skin-to-skin contact. So do request from your birth team that you would like to have this skin-to-skin moment with your child when the baby is here. So of course, as a natural delivery mom, you will receive the baby, place the baby ear to your heart, letting the baby hear your heartbeat such that they will neutralize and know that, hey, I'm out into this world. And for mommy, it's also allowing your psychological and physiological system to know that, yes, my baby is now out and I'm ready to produce food to feed my child. For C-section mommies that may need some time to be in the recovery ward, daddies, you are very important. You can do the skin-to-skin too. Unrobe yourself, put the baby naked skin on skin, and this will activate the breastfeeding reflex for your baby. All right. And then, after skin to skin, what's next? Naturally, it's about latching. Well, practice makes perfect. No mommy knows how to latch on or a baby at the very first try, right? So give yourself and a baby more time and practice. Your baby needs to learn to know you. You need to learn about your baby too. So while you are getting to know each other, how to latch on, get the lactation counselor that are around you, your birth team, to come and check and make sure that you are latching on correctly. Correct latching should not hurt. And make sure that you are prepared that your nipple's going to work doubly hard. So prepare some nipple cream, or you can even have pure coconut oil, for example, that can be lubricating your nipple to prepare yourself for this breastfeeding journey. So now we are going to learn about the latching positions. There are 4 very common latching positions. They are the cradle hold, the cross cradle, the football hold, and side lying. So let me show you one by one. Well, for cradle hold is a very natural first way of holding your child. So the baby will lie sideways, tummy to tummy, the belly button to belly button, ear, shoulder, hip in a line. So your baby head will be held by the crook of your elbow, and your forearm will be holding on to the whole baby and wrap the legs around you. So support by using the other hand. So the pros of this is because it's very natural, so mommy will just get the hang of it quite easily. However, because you need to maneuver and learn about the latching, so this hand may have to come in between you and your baby. The next position is the cross cradle, which is also a very comfortable and easy to learn. So you will swap your hand from cradle and put your right hand now underneath your baby's head. Remember, below the ears, holding the shoulder. All right, do not touch the soft part of your baby's head. Same thing, use now this arm to hold on to your baby's body. Same thing, legs are wrapped behind your body. So this hand now is free, right? And you can actually hold on to your breast and make sure your baby latches on easily. This is a very comfortable and highly recommended pose for mommy to feel confident about your latching. And when you get to a hang of it, some mommies like to also try the football hold. So from cross cradle, you can actually tuck your baby to the side of your waist, put a pillow underneath the baby, prop the baby up. Yes, this is a very good pose for C-section mummies because there's no weight holding on top of your womb and your wound. All right, so this is the position. And the last one is side lying. It is a very, very good position to use to have a restful night. You can feed almost at any time from day to night while you are in fact also like sleeping at the same time. So side lying takes a bit of practice. It's to place the baby next to you. The baby's tummy must face your tummy, okay, and facing you at the side on the bed. So this position requires practice. So I will highly recommend to get used to the cradle, cross-cradle, football hold before you try the side lying with the assistance of the lactation specialist. The side lying, the pro is, of course, you can sleep and feed at the same time, and the baby is also lying very comfortably beside you. The con is if the mommy is not familiar, you tend to have a phobia of lying over your baby. So these are the different positions, and give it a try and you will find the right one that is for you and your baby. Now that you know about the latching positions, we are ready to create the milk. Okay, so the first step is understand that your body will produce the first milk during the first to even the third day. So don't be alarmed if you don't see milk coming even up to the fourth day. It's all right. Okay, and the first milk tends to be a little bit more yellowish, sticky, honey-like. And this substance is called colostrum. This is the most nutritious and rich content that you can give to your baby. So remember to feed this to your child. Learn how to manual express using your hands that will help to extract more colostrum collected in a clean container such that you can actually spread out the feeding across the day for your newborn, because newborn takes really little at the very beginning. And then you will start to see that your milk is coming. Once you are familiar with a hand express, move on to learn how to use a manual breast pump, using the pump as well. So using this pump helps to stimulate, to trigger a response to your body, to tell the body as if that your baby requires more milk. So how do you do that? Well, first, latch the baby. And after latching your baby, let your baby go to the bed and continue using the manual breast pump to pump for at least 5 to 15 minutes per side. This will encourage more milk production. And I would say once you get the hang of how to use the manual breast pump, then you will proceed to an electric pump. So don't jump from one step to the next. Must learn like how you drive a car, right? You must learn the theory, so that's your hand express, and then you go into the stick drive where you learn manual. So you use the manual pump. Once you understand your body, you can now go into electric, okay? The next thing is, well, I have milk, and how do I continue to increase milk so that I can satisfy my baby's appetite? Well, there are a few things that you can do. So first of all, always drink warm fluids, warm juices, warm drinks like hot milk, steamed milk. Well, anything you can think of, be creative. So your body, once it's warmed up, it has this good blood circulation, hence encouraging the flow of milk. It's like perspiration, right? When it's in a very warm environment, it tends to come out as well. So same thing for your milk. When it's heated, it's easier for your milk to come out. And next is massage. Well, massage is always good, regardless you are having your maternity break or you're just requiring a restful time. Yes, massage because you are calm and feeling comfortable, cool, and soothed, the milk will also flow. So the more comfortable the mommy is, the more milk in terms of quantity and quality. Then of course there are some moms, due to psychological or physiological requirements, they may require some medical or professional help. So when you come to that situation, always seek an LC or a professional's help early so they can prescribe the right medication and support for you. Like earlier, I mentioned that Babies, newborns tend to require very little at the very beginning. So what is little? Let me define it for you, okay? But this is just a general guideline and do not follow exactly. So watch your baby. Just remember, let your baby give you the cue. So first few days, your baby's stomach is as small as a cherry. So each meal, they may take up just like a 5 to 7 ml each meal. All right, then when it's day 3, the stomach starts to grow a little bit bigger. So example is like a walnut size. Then at the end of the first week, your baby's stomach may grow into an apricot size, and later on at the full month, your baby's stomach is like an egg size. So the feed size is a good indication how much your baby requires at each feed. As a general guideline, we also recommend that the newborns take up to 8 to 10 feedings a day. So don't be alarmed that you will wake up every 2 hours, 3 hours just to feed your newborn baby. This is very natural. And then their feeding will gradually stretch their timing as their needs changes. We talk about your baby's stomach size, right? So it's very important. Listen to your baby, watch your baby. So here I say, watch the baby, not the clock. So don't follow the clock like 1-2 hours because every baby is different. So let your baby tell you. So what are the signals that your baby can tell you? First is their rooting instinct. So rooting is like, this cute little bird. They will turn their head towards you and they will open their mouth up and down. They will search, and this action is called rooting for your nipple. So daddy, sometimes when you carry the baby, you notice that the baby actually turned to your nipple. Well, that's normal. Although you have no milk, but baby, look at the nipple as that's the source. Okay. Then when the baby couldn't get the milk, the next signal, they will be like, hey guys, I'm talking to you. So next thing, they will start sucking on their fingers or their fist. Okay, there's like, guys, watch it, I'm hungry. And if you still don't react to the baby is gonna start wriggling. Okay, and you see that they're unroping themselves and they're like this cute little worm wriggling. And then finally, they get frustrated, like, come on, mommy, daddy, I'm really hungry. Yes, that's where they start to fuss and that's where they start to cry. Okay, so try to catch the cue because every child's personality, probably some doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, they go 1 and then they jump to 4. Okay, so learn to listen to your baby. Watch your baby, not the clock. And after that, you say, okay, now I know baby is taking in, but how do I know baby is really taking in? And how do I know they are taking enough? After being a parent, I realized I'm so keen to find out about pee and poo. I have never even looked at it prior, but then after that, it's like my, wow, everyday check-in. So your baby pee and poo are great indicators how much your baby is taking and are they taking enough. So the first day or the first few days, you notice that the baby's poo tend to be a little bit more sticky and dark black color. Well, this is because it's called meconium. It is the feces that was stuck in, that was holding inside their intestine for the last 9 months in you. So this is meconium, and once it's clear up, it will turn into a dark green. Don't be alarmed. It's not because like, wives still say that they are frightened and all. No, it's just a process of changing color from dark green and eventually it becomes a mustard looking, slightly seedy. Yes, I've never seen mustard the same way ever again after I gave birth. So it's all right. Mustard color is like the best smelling poo-poo to a mom. Yes, okay. So when you see there is mustard looking poo-poo, your child is taking enough and they are actually having a very good digestion system. Okay, and the number of pee, you can refer to the chart. So this is just an indication. Okay, and for mummies that you combine, for example, formula and breastfeeding, your baby's poo will tend to be a little bit more brown and stronger, pungent. Okay, and that's normal. Then moving on, what else can I do to produce more milk? And it's really simple, but very difficult to do, and I highly recommend to be intentional about it. That is to rest. when your baby sleeps, please sleep as well. And this is really easy to be said than done. So mommy, I know there are a lot of digital devices, there are a lot of social platforms out there. For that first few months, I really recommend letting your body rest and synchronize with your baby's sleeping time so that you will rejuvenate, recharge, and be strong enough and be happy, because when you're restful, your baby is happy, you are happy, and you'll produce even more milk. So this is a happy cycle. So when baby sleeps, mommy sleeps. Next, pumping. So of course, pumping is encouraged after your breastfeeding routine is established with your baby. All right, when we introduce the electric breast pump, remember, pumping should not hurt. Okay? And to choose the pump level, the suction level that is suitable for you, it is often important to check in with a lactation counselor, lactation consultant to make sure that that is not too strong. You should not feel that your nipples are being tugged or pulled. It should not feel painful. It should feel just enough that your milk is flowing. All right? And always follow the technique given by the instructions from the pump, the choice that you have selected. Now, during this unprecedented period of time, it's always recommended to bring your own pump to the hospital or have your own personal pump. Yes, and it's very important that you learn about the pump prior to the baby coming. So imagine when your baby is here, your time and focus should be getting to know the baby, watching the baby, learning about your baby's habit and your own body changes as well. So let your focus on the pump or learning about all these products be prior during the nesting instinct period, which is the 3rd trimester. And last, before I end off my sharing, I think it's very important to be prepared. So plan ahead what you want to bring to the hospital. And at the same time, if you are planning to pursue your breastfeeding journey after your maternity break, also remember there is a checklist of things to be included in your pump bag. So these are the top items that I have to have, is a must-have in my pump bag. So here they are. Hopefully they are useful, and continue to share this with your friends. And if you have any questions on breastfeeding or you would like to connect with me, feel free to just join me at Instagram at Yvon Borg, and I would love to chat with you there.